Hi, this is Lynn from the Happy Hormone Cottage, and I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and kind of discuss what's happened on our journey the first 15 months since we began the cottage back in August of 2009, and just do a reflections piece to kind of reflect and talk about the amazing things that have happened the last few months with women in our area that we have serviced. I think the most important thing for me as I realized the last 15 months is that my job really is to just continue to educate people. That was my original goal, and it has certainly come home to me time and again that really it's all about educating women and empowering them to take charge of their journey. When I began my vision a year ago, August, I just had a little cottage and put a shingle out that said, Happy Hormone Cottage, we just love women. And the biggest thing I've discovered that we really do is we just simply listen to women, validate their journey, and we offer hope. And for many women, they come to me, they've really suffered for 19 years, 7 years. People have told them that they're just crazy. And what I'm here to tell you and them is that, this is really physiological. And a hormone imbalance is not an issue, a mental issue or an emotional issue. Those are the side effects, but actually it's a physiological level. And I do know, with the educational piece here, that when your progesterone levels begin to deplete around the age of 35, 36, with estrogen and testosterone and DHEA following shortly after that your hormone levels do become imbalanced and then you become symptomatic. And so by educating women of what's happening, they can then go to their practitioner. They're empowered on their journey to have serious, intelligent discussion with a doctor. I think here's a really important piece for me that if you hear nothing else, hear this. It is no longer okay to go to your practitioner and sit there and say, do whatever you want to me, I'm yours. Those days are really over. For me, those days never existed, but I guess I just have a big mouth or I'm just maybe not as smart as I think I am. But I think in this area of women's health with hormones and adrenal fatigue and even thyroid, for you to go to a traditional doctor and just say, do whatever you want with me, I think your expectations may be a little disappointing. And here's the reason. And let me put this out there first. I do not dislike or underappreciate doctors. I have a great respect for doctors. I've been to them myself. I've had hernia surgery. I actually had an accident a few weeks ago and I ended up in the ER for 6 hours, and they were wonderful. So this is not about my like or dislike for doctors. Let's take that piece out of the equation. I think my message to you is this. Practitioners are medically trained. And my opinion is that today medical training involves a lot of drug therapy. And when you are sick, you go to a doctor, you get a drug, you're hopefully better. This is not the case with what we do. What I know, this is my truth. It may not be yours, but it's my truth. Is that in the issue of the dialogue, you've got to have been well read.
You have to be your own advocate.
That's it. That's a good way to say that.
Yeah. To go in with knowledge, we give you that knowledge.
And I can talk about that next. I can talk about that now.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I think the bottom line is you have to become your own advocate, especially in this area when you go to your doctor. You've got to be well read. You have to have done the hard work. You have to have done your homework. So here's what I would suggest that you do. That you possibly pick up a copy of Ageless by Suzanne Somers. Great read, not clinical, not medical speak. She brings doctor's terminology to the layman. Very educational, very informative. We also have another book by her, Breakthrough and Knockout, which focuses on cancer, also identifies different areas with hormone imbalance, also very educational. We have other books that I really recommend, Adrenal Fatigue by James Wilson, and a great book called Natural Hormone Balance by Dr. Uzi Reese. Get information, get educated, become empowered. Here's the thing, if you go to your doctor, a traditional doctor, and ask him questions on this, remember the answer will probably come from medical school training. I don't have a lot of doctors that know a lot about what it is we do. On my website I have over 30, and I know they know, but if you go to the random doctor that you have a relationship with, one of two things will happen. Maybe more, but here's the two prevalent ones that I've discovered. Number one is they'll say, oh, why do you want to do that? And they'll begin to poo-poo that and even throw a lot of false information at you. Or they'll say, you know what? I don't know a lot about this, but I respect your decision to think for yourself. And I do have other clients that have come to me through this Happy Hormone Cottage who are better, let's give it a whirl. I'll sign off on that. Check back with me in a few months, see how you're doing. Since since a doctor is liable for your journey, I respect his opinion on that because he does sign off and he is liable for your recovery. And the fact that he or she might trust us is really a great thing. So they may work with you and say, you know what, I don't want to lose you as a patient or as have a relationship with you that's damaged, so I'll go ahead and sign off on this. I like those doctors, and you know what's happening? I have doctors calling me now and saying, hey, what are you doing? Can you bring me lunch, or can we sit down and talk about this? Because they have people, women are empowered now, and they're getting this passion. They're saying to their doctor, hey, I don't want to be drugged. I don't want antidepressants. I want you to actually listen to me and fix me and not drug me. So I want to go to the Happy Hormone Cottage. And they're hearing this enough that they're starting to realize, you know what, I better get educated and see and figure out what's going on here. And they're coming on board slowly. I think that's a great, great thing. It reminds me of the story of the man on the beach with the starfish. That has always touched me. There's a man walking on a beach, and he saw the beach was littered with hundreds, thousands of starfish just laying there on the sand, and without the water they would die. And this man, this observer, saw this runner running by, and this jogger stopped and began tossing starfish back into the ocean one at a time. And again, there were thousands, and the man approached the jogger and said, sir, what are you doing? There are thousands of starfish here. This won't make a difference. And the runner said, this will make a difference to this starfish. So I know that I can't empower every woman in the country. I can only empower you. I'm here to let you know that a hormone imbalance is a viable physiological condition that can be fixed by replacing levels, and you will get better. You don't have to be drugged, but again, you've got to be your own advocate. You have to do the hard work. You can also come to the cottage, email me, call us. We're here for you. Our entire reason for being is to meet with you. We don't charge anything. We're free. Show you how to do the saliva testing, and then we show you our strategy for your hormone balance. And I have to say too, going back to your own personal practitioner or doctor, when you go to meet with them, whatever their response might be to what we do, simply ask them this question. Okay, so what's your strategy for me? What is your strategy for me? And if their strategy involves a prescription for antidepressant or an anxiety medication or a sleeping aid, I would say run for your life. That's my opinion. That would be what I would say for me. You do what you want. Whatever, the bottom line is you're empowered to do what you want. But if your practitioner's response to a strategy is drugging you, I might think again. Because I do know we have thousands of women who are better. I'm better. I began my journey 6 years ago with a hormone imbalance. It's been successfully, my levels have been successfully replaced, and I'm healthy and happy. This isn't about me, but I just want to show you, this is an example, and I've got lots of women on my website with testimonials that are the same way, that are just better. They're back to normal. They put themselves back on their own list, and I think that is really critical. Okay, I want to talk for a second about hormone replacement therapy, HRT. Katie Couric did a special on this back in October of 2010. And HRT, what is it? It's hormone replacement therapy. And she did a really good job, I think, of nailing the holes in the coffin of the synthetic drugs that mask as hormones. I think she uses the terminology differently than I would. I don't think of the synthetic drugs, the Premarin, which is the horse pea, the Pravira, the Prempro. I don't think of those as hormone replacement. Those are drugs that mask as hormones. They're synthetic. And she pretty much, in her news report, nailed the holes in the coffin of the fact that it's been proven with Women's Health Initiative of 2002 that these drugs can have health risks. And I thought that was great. I wish she would have used words besides HRT, but she did, and so I want to make sure that we understand that the terminology. Hormone replacement therapy is when you actually replace your hormones. What we do is bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. We use hormones that are bioidentical to what your body used to make. They're made in our compounding lab, and then we give those to you, normally through a topical cream, that you can replace your levels bioidentically. So we're not talking about the same thing that she did. She's talking about HRT, the synthetic stuff that the drug companies make that are dosed for the masses. The Women's Health Initiative found to have health risks associated with them. What I do is not that at all. I do BHRT, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I think it's important to differentiate. And the reason is because sometimes you go to your doctor and you'll say to him or her, HRT, and their hair will stand straight up. HRT, no! And they really mean the synthetic drugs. They don't mean what we do, what our compounding lab is involved in. What we do, again, is BHRT. BHRT is made by drug companies in some cases. They've got the patch, they've got the gel, estrogel, and Vival patch, and so on. And the difference with what they do and what we do is that the BHRT made by drug companies is dosed for the masses. One strength fits most. And doctors that normally use this, if they check hormone levels at all, they probably use blood where the ranges are so big that I find them to not be that helpful. That's just me. What we do actually is we check your levels with saliva testing that we have had great results with. It's very accurate, it's very specific to you at the cellular level. And then we compound therapy just for you. So we can tweak that. When you slap a patch on you, it's hard to adjust that dosage. When we give you a topical cream and you're having symptoms, we can actually control the dosage by having you dose it down or dose it up a little bit. So we can actually customize for you. BHRT by drug company, they make a progesterone called Prometrium. Not a bad product at all. But Prometrium comes in 2 doses, 100 and 200 milligrams. It's a capsule. It's soaked in peanut oil, and it lasts in the body for 6 hours. When we dose topically, our creams last in the bloodstream for 24 hours. So I don't know, it's your journey. I'm just saying for me, I like knowing that something is made for me based on my levels that were checked the right way, which is, for me, again, my opinion is saliva testing, that it was customized for dosing for my body based on my body's needs, and then we can customize that and tweak that as we need to. I think that's critical. So when doctors throw myths at you, just buyer beware. I have another story for you here. And one of our clients go to her doctor. She actually is on our therapy, and she has a doctor that she used to go to that she really liked. But the doctor wouldn't have anything to do with what we do, so this client had to leave and go to another doctor on our website. But she said, Lynn, I really want to visit this doctor and talk to her about what it is she's missing, because she could help so many women. I said, fine. So I gave this client our clinical studies. I mean, we have a lot of studies. I gave a great one is by Kent Holtorf, the BHRT debate. It's on my website, recommended readings. You can click on the link. There it is. We have Case for BHRT by Stephen Hotze. There's another great study by Fournier. It's Fornier, called the Cohort Study. Huge. We had lots of studies. So this client took our studies to this doctor. And the doctor sat down with her. This client paid for another office visit. She wanted to talk to the doctor and just empower the doctor. The doctor said, okay. She took the studies we gave her. I'll put this in your folder. I'm not going to read these, but I want you to read this. And the doctor handed our client this study. And my husband Jeff is the compounding pharmacist, has done this for a long time. We went through each of these points. The name of it is BHRT, sort of myth from fact. And at the top is stamped FDA. So that's a red flag in my mind, but that's a personal bias, sorry. And every single myth they attacked with their facts were all wrong. And I went through here with my husband, and every single talking point they gave, they're all incorrect, to the point of actually being untruthful. And I think that's interesting. And here's something else that I think is very interesting. If you go to your doctor who wants to prescribe you the synthetic stuff, ask them for their studies. There aren't any. The studies they have are the Women's Health Initiative that show that they are not great for your health. So I think that's amazing. I can hand you these studies that show you what we do is safe and effective. I've got tons of them. And by the way, on my website, recommended readings, there's a practitioners button for practitioners. Lots of studies. I can hand them to you. You go to your doctor and ask for a study from them. They'll hand you a piece of paper that has myth from fact that's got the FDA stamp. But are you kidding me? Really? And they're all lies in here. So it just every day that I think about this and deal with women on a daily basis, pretty much 24/7, it refocuses my commitment to really get out there and educate you, because you will talk to somebody else. I also want to talk about the fact that after the Katie Couric special aired, that we had a segment on the Today Show by Dr. Nancy Snyderman, who simply repeated what Katie Couric had said, which I thought was fine. But then she went ahead and made a statement that really we got a lot of calls and emails of concern and anger at Nancy Snyderman. And Nancy Snyderman went on to say at the very end of her presentation on the TV segment for the Today Show that that it has come to light. We are kind of just proving once and for all that the synthetic drugs do have health risks associated, then she went on to say this, but there is no proof that the alternative natural therapy is any safer. And I got calls and letters of outrage. So what I did is I said, you need to email the Today Show at msnbc.com and let Nancy Schneiderman know how disappointed you are. I did that twice. I actually showed her I gave her links to our studies. I said, absolutely, you are wrong. And I actually said in the email, I said, you know what, you're a talk box for Big Pharma. We don't need that anymore. You don't have the truth. We do have studies. They're in my hand. They're on my website. And I gave her those links. Also, the head of ZRT Lab that does the saliva testing, David Zaba, I had dinner with him in Orlando in October, and he also addressed a great newsletter about the fact that the information that she was saying was really inaccurate and disappointing, and to me, really cost her credibility. So you really have to take the information that's thrown at you and understand that it isn't all with your best interest at heart. It's interesting that women don't really have a place to come and talk to other women about hormone balance and get good answers. And so I've had a lot of success with Happy Hormone Coffee Hours once a month, normally the second Wednesday of the month, where women just get together and dialogue about their issues, concerns, ask questions, and we've learned a lot from that as well. And one thing I've learned from speaking to women at great length is that if women don't have conviction, if you don't have conviction about why you're doing hormone replacement therapy, you won't continue. Even clients that I have that have come on board and they're beginning to feel better, but they go to their traditional doctor or a family doctor and he goes, oh, why are you doing that? If these clients don't have conviction, if they're not educated, they may not continue therapy. So you really have to understand what's at stake, why you're making the choices you're making. Becoming empowered, I think, again, is critical. I use that word a lot, but it's really true. You have to have conviction to continue. You know, when you go on natural hormone therapy, it isn't always just, a downhill battle where your problems are solved. Hormone therapy doesn't cure a broken bone. It isn't going to heal your bunion. It's not going to repair a broken marriage, but here's what it will do. It will help your moods. It will help you with your energy and your fatigue issues. It'll help you with your sleep issues. It'll help you with depression and anxiety. It will help libido. It'll help vaginal dryness. It'll help prevent breast cancer by giving you progesterone levels to balance out estrogen dominance issues. It'll help weight gain. But I think you have to be realistic, and it isn't an overnight fix. I have women that have come to me that have been sick for 19 years. I'm like, you need to give me 3 to 6 months to get you better. I think that's realistic. I'm not giving you a drug. Here's a pill. Take this. You'll be better tomorrow. See me in 6 months. We don't do that. It's a topical cream that we have customized for you. And here's the key, biofeedback. We listen to your biofeedback that you journal. So when you come back and meet with us, again, for free in 2.5 to 3 months, we can see how it's working for you and what we still need to work on, and then we'll tweak your therapy. We'll customize your therapy further for you. Because here's the interesting thing, I think this is kind of funny. My husband writes the therapy for you, and he's not a middle-aged woman. I mean, I'll tell you, he's just not. So he doesn't know how your body's going to respond. So what he does is he takes the science, the data from your body, and with the information you've provided him, and he writes a strategy for your doctor to sign off on. And then because we're really big on accountability and we make your therapy for you from start to finish, we will meet with you for free as often as you need us to. We recommend the 2nd or 3rd month because before then your body is still getting used to everything and getting back up to speed slowly. So maybe 2.5 months into the journey, we have you meet with us again, and we will say, okay, what's going on? Talk to us. Show us your journal. How are you? And here's how I use to evaluate that. I say a number scale of 1 to 10. When you first came to the cottage, with 1 being icky and 10 being great, you're Beyonce, you're just dancing around, you're probably a low number. By the time you meet with Jeff and maybe me at the 3rd month, you might be a 7 or an 8, and that's great. You'll settle for that, but I won't. You are going to be a 10. So I'm meeting with my husband Jeff at the 3rd month, maybe the 4th month, maybe the 6th month if needed, and tweaking therapy and listening to biofeedback, you will become a 9 or a 10. And I think that's the beauty of what we do. You cannot customize the drug company made BHRT. You certainly can't customize the synthetic stuff. You can customize what we make for you in our lab bioidentically. Adrenal fatigue is not a myth. It's not something that's just, a new fad. It's been around for a long time. And James Wilson, I have a lot of respect for him, is one who really has brought this to the forefront of our awareness. And we recommend this book to many people. And here's the thing. I don't know one woman today that doesn't have adrenal fatigue. Think about this. Women in our society today are multitasking, crazed, people that really aren't even on their own list anymore. And adrenal fatigue is huge. And I do know this. If we don't impact and rebuild your adrenal glands first, you're not going to feel better. You're going to be better. Because if we can balance your progesterone with estrogen, we can sort of help, remove the breast cancer risk. And we can help your sleep, anxiety, and depression. And we know that. And we can prevent disease. But you won't feel better. It's only by addressing adrenal fatigue that you're going to be better. So what we subscribe to is James Wilson's therapy, where it's over-the-counter, natural, adrenal rebuilder and supraadrenal stress tablets, and women are better because we're impacting and rebuilding the very fatigued adrenal glands. So by actually fixing those first, you feel better. Then you have the conviction to go the extra mile to continue on with your progesterone cream, your estrogen cream if you need it, testosterone cream. And you really can go the whole distance. Couple that with thyroid balance, and we use Armour Thyroid. We look at the dosage of Synthroid you've maybe been given. We offer supplements called Thyrofem to help the T3, T4 conversion and promote T4 production. Really hugely impactful and natural. And so we really can with our strategy, rebuild fatigued adrenals, sluggish thyroid, and depleted hormone levels, and really, we're new women. I'm 55. I don't know what 55 feels like. I don't think that I feel that way. I feel like I did when I was, 25, 30 maybe. And I just think that's huge. You can't make it up. You can't fake energy. It just happens with good health. So I think that's been huge. Let's talk a little bit about what the hormones actually do. Again, we mentioned that progesterone helps sleep issues, helps depression, helps anxiety. It's the first thing women lose around the mid-30s. Postpartum depression often comes from lack of progesterone, and so they go into this deep depression and weepiness if they had a baby. So if we just gave them progesterone, this would probably help the postpartum depression immensely. PMS is also symptomatic of end result of PMS would be that there isn't enough progesterone. Women who actually have severe PMS often are the same ones that have the postpartum depression, are the ones that have the most significant progesterone imbalances that need us the most. But actually all women at some point or another will come to that realization with progesterone levels that have depleted, and the symptoms are the sleep, depression, and anxiety. Testosterone actually does 4 things, believe it or not. Helps memory recall, good thing to do, helps libido, will help with the energy, and helps build strong bone. So when you go to your doctor with a DEXA scan, bone density test with the results, and he says, we're going to prescribe you, the bone building drugs that are on the market today, the Beniv and the Fosamax. My opinion is that they really interrupt the bone building process. They build the bad bone that slips off in the bloodstream. In fact, there are studies out that show that sometimes the jaw develops holes if you've been on those drugs for more than, maybe is it 3 years? You actually have to sign a waiver with an oral surgeon before surgery so that you make sure that they are not liable if something happens because you've been on those drugs. So I say, let's just be smart. Let's just get our levels checked, our hormone levels checked, and let's just, if it's needed, and if you've got a bone loss, it probably indicates that with low testosterone, let's just customize testosterone for you as a cream and put that into your bloodstream. That happened for me at about the age of 49, being a thin white woman. I had osteopenia, which is that slippery slope to osteoporosis. I was 49. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not dead yet. I'm 49, really? So I took the Beniva. I didn't know any better. And my DEXA scan didn't really change over the next couple years. It got a little worse, actually. Surprise, surprise. So began my testosterone therapy, and 6 months later had another DEXA scan. I was up in the low normal range again. So I know that it works. So testosterone is what you need to build new bone. And I think how it works, my husband has told me this, is that it signals the osteoblast in the bone to build new bone. That's how it works successfully. So that's what testosterone does. Estrogen, I know that as women age in their 50s and 60s, the risk of heart attack and stroke equals that of men's because estrogen levels become depleted. So estrogen we often use to help prevent dementia, to help prevent heart disease, stroke. So it's a critical hormone to have. So we just like to keep those levels up and replenished. It's an anti-aging strategy, but it's a disease prevention. Again, disease occurs before symptoms appear. By the time the disease happens, it's kind of late in the game. So we like to do the preventative piece, which I do know that hormone replacement therapy, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, does prevent those diseases of breast cancer, osteoporosis, dementia, and heart disease. And let's talk about the process for a minute. The process is this. You'll come to the cottage or you'll do a phone consultation of what all is involved. We'll set you up with a specific test for you with saliva or a combo kit for your sex hormones, adrenal fatigue, and thyroid. The results come back. We'll have you get on my website and submit in our database a personal symptom sheet and history form. All the results will come back to us with the information you've given us. My husband and his team will craft a strategy for you. Here's a piece that's important. If you live outside where I live, and I don't know doctors in your area, on my website is a place under local practitioners that says, put your zip code in here. If you do that, up will pop a list of doctors in your area who are known to sign off on BHRT. Here's an important piece for you. You have to call the office and say this. Does your doctor sign off on customized BHRT? Because some doctors will sign off on the drug company BHRT, the patch and the Prometrium. They won't sign off on what we do if they're not familiar with it. And that's a yes or no question. You don't really want them. You want doctors that are knowledgeable about customized BHRT, bring something to the table, will talk with you and sign off on it. And again, that's on our website. It's the capability to find that doctor. Then we'll fax our information to him. He'll meet with you, dialogue with you, hopefully sign off, fax it back. We'll compound your therapy, send it to you. You and I will have a phone consultation on how to use it. Again, my time is free. Something else that we do that puts us a cut above the rest is we check in with you by phone and email every single month. We'll be with you as long as you need us to be, for free. And then at the 3rd month, 6th month, as often as you need us to, Jeff is available, the compounding pharmacist, to talk with you in person or on the phone to see how you're doing and then tweak your therapy. And it's simply a matter of actually making it again in a refill a little different way. Do we adjust dosage? Do we change delivery system? Do we change the recipe? We base it on your body's biofeedback. It's really a beautiful thing. I think in summary, what I could say that's most important is whatever you choose to do for you, just make sure that it's based on education and that it's based on you reclaiming your power and not listening to others. You have to do the hard work. And we would love to have you come and be a part of our family. We'd love to have you continue to browse our website, call the cottage, schedule a consultation. We have clients all over the country. You don't have to live in Little Dayton, Ohio. I just met some people in St. Augustine, Florida at Happy Hormone Hour, and we're dialoguing with them now. I think the message that I really have learned is that we have to reclaim our power as women. I think test to get treated, get better, go to your doctor. It's all reclaiming our power. I'm not sure when we gave that away. Was it when Big Pharma came into prevalence in 1960? I don't know. When did we give our power away? I know my grandmother used to have her doctor go to a pharmacy and they would compound her therapy. So I think that we're having a resurgence of this now, of dosing, customized dosing, because women are better and because it works and because women are becoming skeptical. So I call that reclaiming your power. And women have done this. In the last 15 months, we've helped several thousand women. We've opened our 5th location. Women are better. We had a huge anniversary celebration about a month ago. We invited our favorite customers who have had the greatest impact on their health. And it was great to see how much better they are. Many have written letters on our testimonial button on our website of how much better they are. We partner with Holton Wellness Center, so women are losing weight. The 2 biggest things women come to me with complaints on are weight and hair loss, believe it or not. Hair loss is often a hormone issue and a thyroid issue, and the weight gain is all 3: adrenal fatigue, hormone imbalance, and a sluggish thyroid, either hypo or hyperthyroidism actually. And so we impact and have a strategy for those 3 areas with a customized therapy that's all natural, and women are better. So that, I think, the fact that we now are 5 offices deep in a year, 15 months, to me is just incredible and just solidifies my conviction that I myself am on the right path of educating and empowering women. I'm going to keep on keeping on until I have every woman that I meet be off antidepressants and on something healthier. It doesn't have to be through me. I mean, I'm just one person, but I just want women to think before they go to their practitioner the strategy that works best for them. Hopefully it could be a natural one, and don't just settle for an easier, don't just settle. Just don't settle. Know what you're doing, reclaim your power, forge the best path for your journey that you can. So I'm hoping that you will get enough conviction to know why you'd want to pursue the journey with us. Give us a call, go to our website, continue to get educated. I'm empowering you on your journey. Reclaim your power. Would love to meet you in person, talk with you. I love to come and talk to women's groups. Again, I'm free. Chambers of Commerce, health initiatives. I've talked in church basements. I've talked at a bowling banquet. That was fun. I've talked at a law firm with women that were suffering. I mean, I'll talk to anybody who's got breath in their body. I don't care. I will talk to you for free and just educate you on what it is that we do. And again, because we're free, we walk the walk of simply your best life naturally. We just want you to be better. So I look forward to meeting you, talking with you soon. Our passion really is just your best health naturally.